This is Second Ezra 9:1. And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest Yahweh will begin to visit the world which he made. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double homage to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. Akim and the Aquath that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Schwab on Mawan back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, all right, a digital slavery with a digital Messiah, all right, is the times that we're about to enter into, okay? And you can see, everything that we live around, all right, is the fourth industrial revolution, the internet of things, all right? So it only makes sense, all right, that at one point, everything's going to be made digitally, okay? And that's what's coming to our people, all right? A digital slavery, because we no longer need chains and shackles, all right? We haven't needed that for a while because they basically have, put us into a mental captivity. And now we no longer need a mental captivity because they've already got everybody's brain warped, you see, and they got everybody's minds and thoughts exactly where they want them to be. All right. So now it's that much easier for them to bring back, all right, a slavery, but in a digital form. Okay. Which we've always been in slavery. There was never a time that we haven't got out of slavery. You're in slavery now, as the scriptures tell you in Baruch 3:8, all right, that we're subject to payments. You see, we have birth certificates, we have social security card, license. All right, that's digital. That's a actual slavery in a modern day, in a modern term. Okay, modern day slavery. But now they're going to give you a digital slavery. All right, with a digital Messiah, which that will be, that RFID. Okay, that RFID hip, that Rice Krispie tree. Okay, so prophets, right? Those that are in this truth, we measure the time diligently in itself, and we can see what is ahead for us, what's in store, what Esau has in store for us. Okay, and all the signs that have been written, all right, we see them coming to pass, right? So we understand that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is visiting this place, all right, and he's about to try us in that hour of temptation. Okay, so let me grab this. This is uh this is Second Ezra 4:37 to back up the precept I just read. By measure has he measured the times, and by number has he numbered the times, and he does not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Okay, let's grab Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. All right. And that vision, all right, that this devil has, all right, which really comes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is ready, right? Is being prepared for an appointed time. Okay. And that vision that this devil, Esau, has in store is that digital Messiah. Okay. Which we all know. Let's grab that. All right. Revelations 13 and 16. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. All right. And that's pretty much what this devil wants to tag you with. All right. With his name, with his number. Okay. His number being 666, basically making you and tagging you a product of his environment. Okay. A product of his society. All right. Just like how they tag animals throughout the world and they track them down and track down their every move. You see, this is what Esau wants to do with our people, man. All right. By the way of what? Transhumanism. All right. Let's grab this. Now, I got to be careful how I speak because this devil's on another level right now. All right. This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. And it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, right? That is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right. So this devil thinks that he's the most high, that he's greater than Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see, to the point where he heapeth together all nations. Let's go back to Habakkuk. All right. It says Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, talking about Esau, neither keepeth at home. All right. He could care less about his own kind. He could care about the places that he runs, man. All right. He just has one mission. Okay. It says, who enlargeth his desire, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. You see, he already, brings death and hell to this place. But see, he's not satisfied with that. All right. He has to have more than what he can handle. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All right. And how is he going to be able to heap together all people? All right. By the way of this digital Messiah, you see, that's going to be, brought and being mandatory before the whole world. Okay. What you see, what's going on with this digital Messiah, with this digital ID, okay, it's just, it's just the, it's the calm before the storm. Okay. It's just to collect the rest of your data that they need before they actually make mandatory what is the true digital Messiah, which again is going to be an actual physical implantation into the skin, all right, or into the forehead. All right. And I'm going to show you a couple of videos. I ain't going to show too many because, again, we got to be careful what we putting out right now. All right. But, there are people out there. There you go. You're already messing with the feed already. Okay. And this is why YouTube is going to be taken out, because the prophets is bringing out the truth. Okay. So continuing on. All right. The way he's going to heap us together. All right. Is through the way of this digital Messiah, which is going to be tried and made mandatory before the whole entire world. All right. And again, it's a digital implantation into your skin or the forehead. Okay. Which we have already gone through this many, many times. All right. But we have to, for anybody that's new. All right. When you go into that word M-A-R-K, all right, it goes into charagma. Okay. which I'll just read it real quick. All right. Charagma goes into a stamp and imprinted MARK. All right. Basically into the right hand or the forehead as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. Anti-Hamashiach, which Antichrist just means to be against. All right. The anointed, to be against the anointed, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this society, these devils are against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And this is why the Lord tells you just come up out of the ways of Babylon, because this place is filthy. It's polluted. It will destroy you with a sword of destruction. It's made to make you go against your true maker, against your power. You see? And this is why we're going to have to separate ourselves from this society eventually, you know, and we're going to be as pilgrims upon the earth. You know, we're going to have to feel the pain and the suffering, because we're not going to attach ourselves to this society anymore, man. We have to detach ourselves, all right, and have true faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that he's going to have us in the time of trouble, in the time of need. Okay. It says a stamp or an imprinted MARK, all right, basically as a badge of the followers of the Anti-Hamashiach, right? Just like I said earlier, you know, just like how they track down these animals and they give them, you know, they shoot them with basically micro C-hips, okay? It's the same thing they're going to do to us, to be able to track our every move, okay? And it says thing carved, sculpture, graven work. The thing carved, all right, is going to be etched, okay, into our skin, okay, as a badge of servitude, all right, of idolatrous images. You see, it's going to be an image of the beast, okay, which that's going to be that digital Messiah, the new digital Messiah, because we're entering into the NWO, all right? So if we're entering into the NWO, there's no need for the old ways, all right? All right, for the old world order, okay? They're going to need new world order images, okay? And that's going to be the actual digital RFID, okay? Let's go to the word charagma goes into charax, which means a pale or stake, all right? And as if you've seen the thumbnail of my lesson, all right, that white cross-looking needle that they're going to use is basically the stake that's going to be used, all right? And what is a stake used, all right? The stake is used to basically, you know, push something into the skin, you see? Just like when you use a stake outside, all right, to hold something down from the wind blowing it, you have to drive it in to the ground, okay? So it's the same thing with this stake, all right, this needle that's going to be used, all right? It has to be driven into your hand, okay, or into your forehead, okay, to be able to be implemented inside the body, all right, which leads us to basically what we was reading, okay, in 2 Thessalonians 2:4, where it says he opposes himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped. So he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Because the way he's going to sit in the temple, we are the temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Our bodies are considered as a temple to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, let's grab that. All right. That your body is the temple of God, KJV. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 6:19, and it says, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, all right, which is in you, which ye have of Yahweh, and ye are not your own, you see? So we know that he's going to sit in the temple of Yahweh, all right, by the means of this technology, by giving us transhumanism, All right. And I'm going to show you a video of transhumanism. Okay. So going back to Karax. Okay. Slovakia. I have to go back all the way from the top to the bottom again. All right. So Karax says through the idea of scratching, which basically comes from the word corazo, to sharpen to a point. That's what that stake is, to sharpen to a point to be able to drive into your actual physical skin. All right. And it says a stake example by implication. All right. When you go into that word implication, see what it says. I wanted to see if it says something about. One second. Yeah, it's not giving me much. Cool. It's all right. Cool beans. So continuing on, Karax goes into the root word grapho. All right. Which grapho goes into, I'll grab a couple of different examples. All right. To commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down and record. You see, he's going to be able to record your every single move. All right. Track down your every single move. Another example says to write to one example by written in a written epistle to give information and directions. You see, to give directions is what? To have a GPS. So it's going to track you down for your every single move. To give information is to transfer data. You see, so he's going to be able to transfer data, all right, from him to you, from the government to you only, because now we're no longer going to be able to transfer information between ourselves. This is why, you know, BG, all right, Killer Gates, okay, pretty much wants to ban and take away the cell phone completely, taking away completely computers, you see, because you yourself are going to be made the computer. Now, they'll still have the domain because it has to be connected to something. All right. But see, you're not going to have access to that domain no more. They only going to have the access to the domain. So they're going to have access to you, you see. And if computers were able to be hacked, then you will be able to be hacked also and controlled in your thoughts, in your mind. You see, this devil already makes the diligent search, as it tells you in Psalms, the 10th chapter. Okay. So now he's going to be able to make that diligent search even more with this technology in your body. You see, it says to draw up in writing and compose. Okay. Basically, you know, anything that has to be given in information and data. All right. It's going to be drawn up and written. Okay. And this is what all these things that are coming into play, you know, the digital footprint. Okay. You having, you know, universal basic income, you know, your social credit score. Okay. These digital IDs that he's mandating, that people starting to think that that's what you know, what the MARK is when it's not. You see, that's just going to lead to the actual MARK, which is that RFID. Okay. They have to groom you, man. They have to gradually make you think that it's normal. Okay. And what they're doing is they're giving you the problem reaction solution. Okay. It's going to lead to the actual solution of the RFID, because people already starting to think, oh, damn, I can't buy, I can't sell nothing. You know, that's gradually making you feel that of what he actually wants from you, man. All right. So he'll give you a different option eventually by telling you, all right, well, if you don't want to take this digital ID, all right, we have a better solution where you can skip all that. Okay. And what is he going to tell you? He's going to eventually tell you, here's this RFID. making it mandatory upon the people, man. Okay. Let me turn this off, Salakia. Waste no gas. All right. So let's continue on. Okay. Now let's play a couple of videos real quick. All right. Which if this devil does try to cut me off, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Just stay tuned and I'll switch phones real quick. All right. Because I have a feeling through the spirit he's gonna try to cut me when I play a couple of these videos. This is why we can't sit here and just play a bunch of them. And we gotta kind of be quick with these type of lessons. And I know I always say I'm gonna be quick, but the spirit has me going. All right. 1 second. This is an example, right, of, matter of fact, let's grab this real quick. When you go into that word in Revelations 13 and 18, right, that word 666 goes into Chi Xi stigma. All right. That word stigma, all right, says this, and this is a prime example of that definition. All right. Chi Xi stigma goes into M-A-R-K. All right. Pricked or stick, it says. It says a M-A-R-K, pricked in or branded upon the body. To Oriental usage, Salakia, to ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut in parentheses, all right, into their bodies. You see, showing you that it's an actual physical thing, to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees, check this part out, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with a token of their gods. So you had people that, voluntarily basically went out and already did this to worship and show their token toward their gods. All right. And again, their gods are going to be the image that this devil wants you to have here in America, Babylon the Great. You see, some people out there, there's many people out here, man, that already have them. All right, on the low, because they already had made their mind up long ago that their God is here in Babylon the Great, you see, and they took it without being made mandatory. All right, but see, the rest that's not woke and don't have this understanding, all right, that's why they're gonna have to make it mandatory and hit you with the okie doke, man. All right, and they're gonna hit you with all these different ways, okay, and of gradually making you think that this is a normal thing when it's not. All right. So now, with that being said, let me grab this video, one of them. Okay. This is what transhumanism is.
What I'm about to tell you is extreme. It's not too important. We're gonna hear some deep. What I'm about to tell you is extremely important. I'm one of the first people to get a Neuralink implant in my skull. If you guys can see and don't really know what a Neuralink is, it's kind of like an electronic chip from Elon Musk embedded in your skull. At first it was kind of like a Fitbit, kept track of vital signs, stuff that was going on in my body. Eventually it's gotten to a point where I can move a mouse without even touching a computer. I can connect, I can download, I can transfer information. I'm not the only person that has one of these now.
See, and that's what they ultimately want, man. You see, this is why you got Mr. Killer Gates, right, that wants to take away, all right, phones and computers, because he's going to now make you the computer, the ultimate machine. You see, these people think that it's going to be a cool thing to be half man, half cyborg, man. But see, that's your destruction right there. All right, which we'll get a couple of scriptures of why. Okay.
Communicate. This is what's going to happen for the rest of the world. Eventually, this technology will be, maybe not you, your kids, your grandkids. This is what's coming next. Welcome to the year 2025. Have fun.
All right, that's one video. All right, we'll have.
Let's talk tech game. These are all the technologies that will disappear by 2030, and some of them will surprise you. Check it out.
Which I'm gonna tell you straight up right now, we are not gonna make no 2030. If we here to 2030, holy shit, that'd be a miracle on Esau's side. All right, but you know, you had Mr. DT, Mr. President, right, that has been speaking of Operation Warp Speed for quite some time, man. And everything is moving like this fast. All right. So I doubt it. You know, I'm almost positive. All right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we are not going to make 2030. Do not let these devils make you feel like there's still time on earth, man. There is no time left, man. Time is ticking right before our eyes. And this devil, okay, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is putting them in that spirit to make these things move faster, okay? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is the one that controls all things, okay? Even the mindset of these devils, you see? So please, man, do not think that we have all this time to 2030, all right, to get ready and prepare for these things. You have to prepare for these things now. As the scriptures say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, okay?
Tactless payments are pushing physical money towards extension. In most major economies, cash use is already falling below 10%. Paper receipts, who needs to? Okay, they can just shoot you a digital copy of it. You don't even need paper receipts.
Why do you not need paper receipts? All right, things recorded, as we just read, right, in the word grapho, things not to be forgotten. You see, all this is going to be data that's downloaded into your RFID. Okay, there's going to be no need for paper receipts no more, for you to write anything down anymore. All right, because it's all being recorded. You don't need no recording of your medical records. All right, which all these devils is going to give you is convenience when they make this mandatory, which they're doing that now. You know, they show you all these different, you know, commercials of smart cities, commercials, and gradually showing you that this RFID, these things that are going to be presented to you, is for your convenience. You know, oh, you won't lose your children no more. You know, we'll be able to track down your children where they are. Okay, you don't need no receipts. No, you don't need to write down any more information. You see, it's all for your convenience. That's what these devils continually keep putting in your head, that it's for convenience. You see, that's how they brainwash you with these things. This is how that devil is, that cunning serpent. Okay, he's very sneaky with what he does. All right,
What's about to be out here? Traditional keys, man, they got smart locks, facial recognition, mobile access will soon replace mechanical keys. Security will move entirely into the digital realm. No more keys.
And that's what that, you know, going into all this digital ID for, all right, is for your biometrics, is really to get as many people as they can their actual biometrics, you know, their facial recognition, their eyeballs, you know, that's what it's really for. They really don't need that. Okay, because all they really need to do is put that RFID into your body, because your body is already a Wi-Fi, man. All right, they just trying to find different tactics to make you connect that much easier to the system, which I've done countless, you know, videos on it, man. How, you know, the Yo Jabba Jabba with the Geo inside of it, you know, in 2020, how it goes hand in hand with these digital IDs, with these biometrics, which the biometrics will lead to the actual connection okay, of this RFID into your body.
Cables, okay, they're getting rid of the cables. They're doing charging with data transfer. Everything is shifting to wireless, okay, so the cables are about to be out of here. No more cable clutter. Physical credit cards. They're doing contactless payments, wearables, digital wallets, and phasing out plastic credit cards. These will be out of here as well. Passwords are also about to be gone too. They're using biometric logins and passkeys are replacing passwords. So this is about to be
You see? Convenience.
too.
Everything that's been said in this video is convenience. You don't need no more cords and cables. You don't need no more passwords. You know, they're making it as easy as possible for you because they want America to be some lazy ass cyborgs, man, which you already see how lazy these people are in America, man.
Television channels, streaming algorithms are replacing scheduled TV. By 2030, traditional broadcasting will be nearly extinct.
Yeah, which when you go into TV, all right, television, all right, it tells you a vision that's not true. You see, and by you watching TV, okay, they're not gonna need none of that no more. All right, there's gonna be no need for entertainment no more. All right, you could bring it up by yourself in your own mind and imagine these things. And when you go into TV, right, it channels. All right, each channel is basically channeling you to nonsense, man, which is really demons. That's really what TV is, man. It's a bunch of demons that you're connecting to, and when you turn to these channels, you're channeling to different demons. All right, so what is the need of that? All right, if Satan, all right, if Esau himself got you already where he wants you, okay, now he could feed you the TV and program your mind to whatever he wants. Just like you see in the movie The Matrix when they were programming Neo, all right, they were programming him whatever he wanted in his mind, you see? So you'll be able to do that with this RFID, which will sound so cool to the world. Oh, that's convenient, man. I can watch TV while I'm over here. You know, I could watch TV while I'm over there. If I go to work, I'll be able to watch TV in my mind and work at the same time. Convenience.
On-demand feeds. It's going to take over. That's it. And last but not least, people. Amazon is planning to replace 600,000 human workers with robots by 2033.
And that's why you have what you call universal basic income, because the technology is coming out where you're not going to need to work no more. All right. Everything is being replaced with machines, which is, there's a great rise in the machines, man. But see, none of this is going to last long, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to lift up the standard. Okay. He's going to disappoint. All right. The crafty with their devices, man. He's going to disappoint them, which we'll get those precepts in a second. Right.
I'll leave you with this. This is a real billboard. This is not AI. Something to think about. Get ready. We're in the future. Let's talk tech game. These are all the technologies that would
so that's
by
one.
2030. Someone will surprise.
Another one. And let me see if I should just bring. All right, you got one that brother just posted. It says Mexico. Okay. It says Mexico has now introduced the digital ID to its people and will be mandatory to get full implementation by 2026. Will ye get it or walk away from everything the world has to offer? Okay. And this is what we're doing mentally. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has been, all right, preparing us to walk away from everything in this world that we possess. All right. And to get right with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because the hour of temptation is here. You see, you have Utah also that just got in that same exact mode. Okay. That they are starting to bring out digital IDs. All right. You have Brazil. Okay. That's also speaking about digital IDs. You have Jamaica that just got smacked. And Jamaica doesn't even look like Jamaica no more, man. Why? Because they're trying to bring digital IDs. All right. Prepare you for smart cities. You know, the same thing that happened out there in Hawaii. All right. These places are going to be used for smart cities, which there's places already that have smart cities ready to go. You know, I did a video a while back, you know, showing that this one guy went in the middle of it was, I guess, it was a gas station, and when he went in there, he said there was nobody in there. Everything was just digital. You went into the store, everything was digital. What you needed had to be used with some type of digital technology. Gas was used through a digital technology. These are all smart cities, man. You see? And the only way you're going to be able to use these things is by having that implementation in you, man. Right?
And what if taking it means losing our soul? Without the mark, no one can buy or sell.
What if they're right? What if we can't survive without it?
And what if taking it means losing our souls?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't take cash anymore. You'll need to scan your mark.
But it's all I have.
We like your credentials. But before we can finalize your position, you'll need to take the mark.
Without the mark,
See, and that's what this devil's doing now, setting you up by taking away your SNAP benefits, by taking all your benefits away, because eventually what's going to happen is these people are going to beg to go back to normal, are going to beg for these things. That's why the scriptures say that the Lord is your shepherd and you shall not want, you see, because you have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. If you have true faith, you don't need none of the stuff that's going to be given, given in this place, man, because we have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the ultimate power. All right. We don't have to worry about how we're going to eat, how we're going to drink, how we're going to survive. The Lord already promised us these things as long as we put faith in him. Okay. But these people don't have no faith. So they're going to be able, all right, to beg basically to their governments, beg to this society. And like Mr. Musk said, all right. And DT has said it. And you had, BG has said it, okay, that you're gonna pretty much come begging to them, you see, for the want of all things, which is a curse upon our people in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, man. You see, you're gonna go to your oppressor for the want of all things, and they know that. So all they had to do was just take away the things you love the most, the things that you're comfortable in the most, your benefits. All right. And as long as you take away your benefits, it's going to stir up the people and eventually cause them to have civil war amongst themselves and eventually come begging to the government to have a solution. And they have the solution already ready for you, man. You see, that's how they sneaking that into you. All right. I'll play one more. So I got a whole bunch of them, but I got to save some. All right. You got Barbados also that just joined with digital IDs. You see? So it's happening all over the world, man, that they're grooming you for the mandatory RFID, because all roads are going to lead to the MARK of the BEAST, okay?
People before the storm. To the calm before the storm. I just left Walmart. People are panicking without panicking. You can feel it in the air. It was crazy. My last video, I said I went to Walmart in the middle of the day and the food section was slam full.
And what's crazy is I went to Walmart yesterday to grab a few things, and he ain't lying, man. I ain't never seen Walmart so every aisle packed with everything you need. Why? Because they done took away these SNAP benefits, so there ain't nobody buying.
Feel it. We've all been feeling it for the past few years. We just didn't know what or when. And I think this EBT is the trigger to the beginning of the downfall of this system, and they're going to implement the new one, a new financial system, a digital-backed currency. No more paper dollar. That shit's old. It's only worth 29 cents on the dollar. It's not even worth $1 anymore. They're going to freeze your bank accounts. People are going to get crazy. They're going to implement martial law. Then they're going to flip the switch. When you get hungry enough, they'll flip the switch, and you're going to be begging for their help to be a part of the new system, the new financial system, and everything else. You're going to get a digital ID, or you're going to get a chip put in you, and you're going to be part of the system. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this? Have you been to the stores? Can you see the panic? Can you feel the tension there?
And it sucks that I do not own the rights to that song. Dumbass is putting songs behind somebody speaking already, But see, this is what's coming to America, man. All right. And it's right around the corner. All right. Let's grab a couple precepts and I'll close out. All right, this is Revelations 3 and 10. As a matter of fact, let's grab this first. Revelations 14 and 9. For anyone that takes this image, all right, this is what's coming to you. It says, doom for worshippers of the BEAST. All right, 14 and 9 in Revelation. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the BEAST and his image and receive his MARK in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night. Yeah, they have no rest day nor night who worship the BEAST and his image, and whosoever receiveth the MARK of his name. You see? So you're going to be burnt with thermonuclear missiles, all right? And you're going to be burnt by the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb, all right, which is Yahushua and his angels, all right, when they come through with them chariots, all right? And this place is going to be annihilated, all right, through thermonuclear missiles from New York to California, and it's going to ascend up in smoke from generation to generation, man, meaning for a very, very long time, okay, until it basically dies off on its own, all right? Let's grab Revelations 3 and 10, right? And it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, all right, the word of this truth, all right, what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given you, all right, this chance at salvation, all right, the manual to be able to conquer over this society, you see, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also, all right, and patience means suffering. We've also been suffering this whole time, and we're going to suffer even more by not, being partakers in this society, you see. So it's going to be made very hard for us. But because we have kept the word of his patience, it says what? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You see, we can't let the society snatch our crown. All right, snatch these jewels that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given us. We can't let the society take it away from us, man. We have to endure to the end. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved, you see. And the Lord is going to keep you from the hour of temptation, man. He going to make a way from you. Let's grab that real quick. And 2 Peter 2, I believe it's 9. That's right. The Lord Yahushua knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. All right. So the Lord know how to keep us away from these things, man. He gonna make a lot of miracles happen in those days. All right. You don't have to worry about, when you ain't got no food, no water, okay, no place to live. All right. Believing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's gonna get you through all of that, man. The Lord said, my servants shall eat, okay, and they shall be hungry. My servants shall my servants shall drink, and they shall be thirsty. You see? So we're not worried about, us being put in a bad predicament. That's why the Lord's been putting us in bad predicaments right now, has us constantly suffering. So when that time comes, is that much easier, man? It ain't nothing. We've been suffering on this side for the longest. So it's going to be that much easier for you to go through that suffering, all right, and wait upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Let's grab this in Job. All right. This is Job 5 and let's grab it from 12. It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You see? So at that one point, at the height of his sufficiency, all right, let's grab that as a matter of fact first and then bring that back. All right, this is Job 20 and take it from 5. It says that the triumph, no, let's take it from 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite for a moment. All right. And we know that this devil has, you know, his limits that he cannot pass. All right. The Lord said that he has months left, basically. Okay. Months, not years. Okay. Not centuries. All right. The Lord said months. And that's why we're in that 2-minute warning. You know, if not less than that, you know, there's only a few seconds left, man, in this place. All right. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short. Matter of fact, let me grab this. Come on. Forgot where that one was at. Salakia. His limits that he cannot pass, KJV. This is Job. Yeah, that's what I thought. 14 and 5. All right. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, you see, and has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, you see. So his rulership is over with, man. This is the last of his limits. All right. And he can't pass no farther than that. All right. So going back to Job 20 and 5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency, all right, meaning what? His pride, mount up to the heavens, and his head reach onto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. And they which have seen him shall say, where is he? You see, he gonna be taken out of the way. Okay, let's go straight down to the point. Going down to 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when this devil thinks that he has everything in the palm of his hand, all right, that's when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to lift up that standard against him, man. That's when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to send the missiles, you see, and is going to return upon his own head and upon his own pate. Okay, so now let's grab Job 5 and 12, and I pretty much ended with that. All right, Job 5 and 12, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in his own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Okay, so this is why we have hope in this place, man. The only hope we have is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you see? Because we understand that although this shit is getting ugly, all right, and we continually see the wicked prosper, all right, we're not to be what? We're not to be envious of it, all right? We have to rejoice in it because we understand that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is right around the corner, you see? And he's about to disappoint this devil. This devil is going, yeah, he laughing, having that little evil laugh. I got them all in the palm of my hand. All right. But see, that's when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to intervene, you see, and he's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty, man. You see, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise, you see, and that's what we hope for, man, that we are of that number and are able and worthy to escape these things. Let's end it with that. This is Luke 21, right? And give me 1 second. Luke 21 and give me 1 second. Luke 21 and 34. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, all right, and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares, For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. You see, that snare being what? Okay, that hour of temptation, when this thing is made mandatory. You see, while these people were out here living it up, all right, having the best time of their life, being drunk, eating, marrying, giving in marriage, you see, having the cares of this life being more important than the cares of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, then that day is going to come upon them unaware. You see, that snare is going to be for the whole world to be tried in. You see, and it says, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. All right. And that's what we hope for, man, that we are worthy to be able to escape all these things. All right. But as the Lord said, man, seek ye out the book. None of these shall fail. None of these prophecies, none of these promises. All right. The answer for your salvation is in these scriptures. The prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hide himself, man. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.